The fact that the administration is so blindly defending this officer and has absolutely no interest in finding out what happened on his side of things is mind-blowing to me. So the FBI has enough time to investigate Renee Good's, her ties, right, her activist ties, but there's no investigation into Officer Ross, and 6 prosecutors just resigned from the Minnesota office saying we normally would investigate any law enforcement officer that kills somebody, but that isn't what's happening right now, and maybe that is what will change. At this point, we have a story that Renee Good is a domestic terrorist, and Officer Ross is allowed to do whatever he wants, and all of these ICE agents, if you can't see that there are people behaving badly here, that they are using tear gas on them, that they were pulling people out of their cars, pulling kids out of their jobs at Target.
It is wild how Fox News and the Trump administration, kind of the same thing, synonyms for each other, always love to skip the inciting incident and then blame the reaction.
Like, you create the environment and then you complain about the consequences. When you kick over a beehive, don't complain when the bees come after you.
When you
poke a bear, don't say, I can't believe the bear's chasing me.
You have a right to stand there and yell at
That's not what we were talking about. We are talking about you guys are deliberately creating an environment so that there is chaos. And when there is chaos, you go, oh my God, someone gets hurt. What do you expect in chaos? You don't think that they're trying
to create chaos?
Yes.
What they're the ICE officers.
These organizations desire chaos.
Going in and
how naive are you?
You can't kick over a beehive and not expect the bees to come back at you? Yeah, that's what Trump and ICE are doing to the country. They are kicking over the peaceful beehive of the nation and expecting people to not be upset, to not have a reaction. They have it completely backwards. Yes, of course, it's not good practice to impede law enforcement. You should peacefully protest if you so desire, and you shouldn't get in their way. That is dangerous. That is true. But you can't go claiming that these protesters are creating chaos and something's bound to happen. The Trump administration is creating this chaos for no reason whatsoever. Again, I'll remind you, Obama deported more than Trump has, but he did it civilly. He did it in a way that didn't trample on people and treat them as less than human. If that matters at all, I think it's kind of an important detail. You can protect your borders, you can protect your sovereignty as a nation, and you cannot be about it at the same time. Any attack on someone else's human and civil rights is an attack on all of your civil rights. But since these Fox News clowns, respectfully, are paid to run cover for the administration and justify everything it does as a knee-jerk reaction, they know they'll never be put in harm's way, so they can get away with saying disgusting things like this. Dehumanizing people, saying it's all liberal white women that do this. Look at all of these times that Jesse Waters trashed the character of Renee Good last week.
With pronouns in her bio. A 37-year-old white woman named Renee Good. The Daily Mail says she leaves behind a lesbian partner and a child from a previous marriage. This is a woman who was in severe crisis. She lived a very sad and very chaotic life. She was divorced from her first husband and lost custody of her 2 kids. Another husband, she lost him. Then she gets involved with a female partner. They flee the country to Canada after the... One of the moms described Renee as an anti-ICE warrior. Is this what led her to chop her hair off and drop her kid off at school and stalk ICE agents all morning until her life came to a tragic end? This was a woman in crisis, living a chaotic life on the fringes. I mean, these are not innocent women, and that they don't deserve to be shot for insulting this ICE officer. But when you're driving a car right at them, these things can happen. It's Trump and Noam, they are surging forces into these cities, and they're not going to tolerate crazy women putting themselves in the middle of a dangerous law enforcement operation.
Just from minute one, as though her haircut has something to do with her not being able to protest something that she sees as a racist, chaos-inducing terror on her community, on all of our communities. Her hairstyle, really? The fact that she's a lesbian, really? The fact that she's white or liberal? You have less rights, according to this administration and the Fox News puppets that echo all of its sentiments, all of its narratives that they make us accept? Really?
You shouldn't be mad at ICE. You should be outraged at those who foment these moments with the purpose of leading to chaos and death. All these videos contain white liberal women. Why isn't anybody talking about this? Screw the fake empathy about the dead mom from all these mayors and all these talking heads. If they had sincere empathy, they would ask that question. If you had sincere empathy, you would want to ask, why are there so many liberal white women who instead of spending time with their kids are risking their lives and breaking the law, for strangers who are here illegally. This was all a setup. It may not have been her. Maybe they were hoping for a black woman, probably. It would have been better if it was believe me, they are not unhappy this mother is dead. She is being used.
And then he just throws in again, showing his own racial animus. They probably hoped it was a black woman. Well, I thought you said it was white women that were the problem here. So why would they have hoped that it's a black woman? See, some people see all people as the same. Some people don't divide people by race. That's literally what the Trump administration is doing, pulling American citizens out of their cars, yanking them out of their cars because they have brown skin. Think that's okay to do? You do think it is. They do. They say that they think it's cool.
ICE has to get much tougher. ICE is too nice.
Jesse Waters literally said ICE needs to be more aggressive. Yeah, that's the solution. I think that's the answer we're looking for. It's all over Fox News. How about Will Cain? Take it away.
There's a weird kind of smugness, by the way, in the way that some of these liberal white women interact with authority. Most guys learn early in life that every confrontation has a sort of escalation chain. A joke, a push, an argument can eventually turn to violence. We spend a lifetime reading the signs, knowing when we're getting close, knowing when to pull back, knowing when we're on the edge of violence. These protesters, they seem completely oblivious, or they think they have a hall pass to the possibility that blocking cops or using their cars as barricades could end violently. Tragically, but violently.
Oh, but you don't have a weird kind of smugness, Will? Yeah, there's a smugness when people see troops coming into their town and harassing their neighbors. It's going to make you feel kind of smug. And again, I don't think it's good to antagonize these officers, get in their way, use your car to block them. It's not a good idea. And consequences can come from them, but you certainly should not lose your life over it. You certainly should not have violence brought upon you. The officers can just go around. At least Laura Ingraham hasn't weighed in on this in some crazy way that escalates it. Take the clip.
Now, this resistance, this insurgence, is organized and well executed. It's meant to undermine our entire federal system. But we know Democrats don't care about Renee Good because to them, she was just collateral damage. She was a talking point. She's dead because of her choices and the constant demonization campaign that Democrats put out there 24/7.
Right. They're not even protesters now. They're insurgents. They're insurgents, like people in Iraq trying to push back the U.S. Army. They're insurgents. Once you have an insurgent, an enemy combatant, well, it justifies all kind of violence against them, doesn't it? Except they're not. They're protesters. Just chilling in their cars, trying to slow down ICE action, trying to slow down ICE action that is terrorizing their communities. Well, let's let someone from the administration talk about it at least. Tom Homan, Department of Homeland Security. He'll put it in perspective on Meet the Press, right?
You got to put yourself in the mind of the officer, right? You're in a city where there's protests, interference, impediment, like these two ladies were doing before this incident occurred. You're in a city where law enforcement response is sporadic at best. You got threats up over 1,300%. Actual assault on ICE officers. You got a woman behind the wheel of a 4,000-pound vehicle, revving her engine, going towards you. I truly believe this officer, in his mind, thought his life was in danger, which allows him to use lethal force. Now, I'll say this, let the investigation play out, right? There's a lot of video we probably haven't seen that the FBI has that we don't. Where's the forensics in the ballistics? That hasn't been unleashed. How about the officer's statements, his own statements? So we need to let this play out, but while we're doing that, we got to stop the hateful rhetoric.
He believes genuinely the guy feared for his life because she was turning to the right. And that's why he also shot the second and third shots from the side of the car once the car was clearly out of the way. Yeah, that's totally because he was fearing for his life from a car that he was to the side of and had already passed the chance to be hit by. How absurdly hypocritical it is for Homan, of all people, to be whining about toning down the rhetoric, by the way. And the word is rhetoric, not rhetoric. While his own employees are terrorizing communities across our country, especially when he and the Trump administration, like I said, do not even view immigrants clearly as full human beings. Put them in alligator Alcatraz, surround them by alligators, have them sleep on the floor, deprive them of food and all their rights, deport them to countries they're not from, and then kill American citizens who are trying to, say, have a little humanity. And those citizens need to tone down their rhetoric? It's wild. If you'd like a little break from all the seriousness and you want a little comedy in your veins, go to @Ben Gleib on Instagram for some of my stand-up comedy videos. I post one every day. Thanks.